Namaste, angels. I'm going to do another client reading for more of my repeat customers. From memory, I believe one is a Sagittarius. I can't remember what the other, and I think that one may be the feminine. I didn't look any of it up because, you know, I suppose once in a while I've been moved to go back and look at something and an old reading or an old email in general. But for the most part, I just don't. I like fresh energy. So today is the 11th. So that has additional meaning for a lot of people. Although, again, if you saw my Venus versus Lilith reading yesterday, then you know that today, this particular 11/11 is a 5. And so that can be challenging. It can be about change. It can be about challenges that lead to change, drama, and all that kind of stuff. But not necessarily any more than that. Yesterday was actually an 11/11, being 11/10/1, because 2017 equals 1. So that's my story. And I'm going to go right into this reading, beginning with past life and opening to freedom. So the first thing, I mean, it would seem that somebody is seeking to release something old, right? Maybe an aspect of themselves, and to enter a new phase. Something has one of them, at least one, perhaps both, you know, feeling drawn to the past. Maybe it is a karmic energy, because that's what this brunette female represents for me. I like when I open to her in reverse. Although there are no reversals in this deck. Past life. Soulmate. Maybe this was upside down too. Maybe she's a karmic soulmate from the past life and causing difficulty. She doesn't even have to be a she or a person at all. It can just be an energy of something that's holding you back. Past life, and one more, karma, right? So we've already seen like a little mini story of everything I've been describing. And so this is a karmic energy for me. Here goes karma. Past life issue attached to karma. We need to let go of something, work through something, all of that. Past life. I'm going to cut. And it's a young female reverse. Now this can be the Sagittarius. First of all, the red hair is like fire. Sagittarius is a fire sign. Also of the fire element, Sagittarius is the more youthful. And like the mirror opposite of Gemini, actually. And, you know, we get along very well. Not just me, I don't mean me and this young woman, but, you know, she and I do too. But Gemini and Sagittarius get along very, very well. In fact, two of my very best friends in the entire world for a long time. One that I met like the first week of college when I first went to college, immediately after graduating from high school. So, you know, from the time I was like 18, we're still like the best of friends. And another that I've known for probably about 20 years. He and she have the same birth date, December 19th. In any case, one of the things that gets us, that helps Gemini and Sagittarius to get along so well is that they are both that, you know, quote unquote, immature and youthful and silly sign of their element. The overall energy here is dating queen. So one or both, you know, having a lot of potential suitors. There are a lot of other people interested. And this could be exes like trying to make a comeback and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't mean they're actually giving into it. It just means other people are interested. Divine couple. The recent past. The near future. The masculine's higher self. Blocks to the union. What the feminine can do here, what the masculine can. Further advice from the universe. And the outcome. Divine couple. Past love. So this is similar to a reading that I did last night, actually, for another couple. I think they may have had the same overall energy, actually. Between dating queen and past love, again, I think that for one thing at least, and they each can have additional meanings, but for one thing, there are people from their past definitely trying to get their attention on both sides. And maybe that's why I was made to begin with past life, that other card. And although we saw those signs of karmic energy surrounding one or both. The recent past triangle. So there is, in fact, at least one, additional energy sort of surrounding them, that has been surrounding them. And it doesn't have to be a physical presence of a person. It's energy. So there's like cords of attachment still to someone or something or somewhere of the past, or a combination of those that can show up as triangle for me. Not necessarily romantic love triangle either. Just something else that's in the way, that's drawing attention. The near future, dark male, nice. Because he is the one of the two male cards that are in this deck, dark male and fair male. The dark male is the one that comes through as, the divine masculine for me, as the one of the light, capital L. Wow. The masculine's higher self, gossip. So a lot of like worry and concern about what people are saying, maybe what society feels, ideologies with which he's been raised. There's like a lot of clutter in his mind that goes against his own desires, wishes, goals. Somebody from here can be a friend, or, even that's like in his ear against his own interests. Blocks to the union, further than that, soulmate. So again, this doesn't have to be romantic. It may very well be. It could be an ex-love. It also can be a friend. Our friends can be soulmates too. Our children, our parents, all these people, soulmates in our lives, like people with whom we have contracts, people that we're supposed to meet again, and they may not, and we may not have the same relation, in subsequent lives and experiences. Maybe before you were my, friend, and this time you're my brother, or whatever the case is. There's a karmic soulmate, at least one, surrounding this. Now, this would again indicate that, yes, it could absolutely have to do with exes. Because this is not just past life, but past loves. Still could be a friend. I love my friends. Some of us love our friends, depending upon the relationship there. Okay, so what can we do about this? The feminine. We had this come up in the reading for the collective. This is about being that lighthearted and childlike, which would be easy for a Sagittarian. That youthful and happy-go-lucky and very lighthearted sort of person. So she can do this. And the masculine himself, he has to deal with this past life issue. He has to address them. He has to work on this, cutting these cords to, whomever this represents, whomever this represents, whomever this represents, or whatever, or wherever. You know, sometimes it's our environment. We just got to get away from like our old friends and the old neighborhood and, you know, our old habits, all that stuff. What does the universe have to say here about this particular situation? There's a need to break free from this, just like we saw in the beginning. And these are the two cards that came up together. And now one is sort of, you know, like at the root and one is crowning in these positions here, surrounding this karmic soulmate issue. So there's a need to break free from this situation. And the outcome, wallflower. I don't really like to see the wallflower as the outcome because it demonstrates still like an inability to engage fully. Can also be representing, in addition to that, you know, particular zodiac signs, because it does for me. Usually when this card comes up, there is possibly a Capricorn, a Scorpio, or a Gemini, in fact, involved. Or, you know, somebody with those kind of behaviors, at least, if not one of those actual signs. All right, let's see what else we can find out. So this was clear. There's definitely some stuff to be worked on here. But let's see what else we can find out. I want to keep moving along, taking full advantage of our time together. Beginning with the Six of Earth from the Angel Tarot. And the Six of Earth represents the planet Venus for me. And the card sort of illustrates Venus to me with all the earth here and the fact that she rules Taurus, and also the scales of balance and the fact that she rules Libra. Gifts of money, time, or effort, new career opportunities, receiving a loan or paying off debts. Six of Earth to me is about, even when dealing with friends or even strangers, it's about real, pure, you know, unadulterated, unsolicited, unconditional love, and just giving freely without an agenda of whatever abundance, you know, whatever type of abundance it is you're sharing. And opening to ego, which represents the sign of Capricorn. So maybe there is a Capricorn involved. We just had that wallflower card as an outcome. Maybe that Capricorn is one of the third energies. And the outcome is, yeah, they're going to be in the way. So you know you have to address this. You know that the outcome is you have to break free from this Capricorn-like person or Capricorn-like situation. Because when we think of Capricorn, we think of the planet Saturn, at least when I do, I'm reminded that Saturn, you know, it can be, and Capricorn, it can be in a very binding energy, very restrictive. You just feel stuck. So that could be another meaning of that wallflower too. Because that's what this ego card is. It's actually the devil in the traditional tarot. A false sense of entrapment, being overly focused on material things and negative or fear-based thoughts. Six of Earth. And balance, which represents the sign of Sagittarius in the tarot. For me, it's very Aquarian too, because in any tarot deck I've seen, actually, there's always this angel or, you know, like a god or goddess that is a water bearer. You see these vessels of water and standing in water. So I don't know who or why, who determined that this should represent Sagittarius or why. But for me, it speaks Aquarian. In any case, the need for balance, and moderation. Cooperation and compromise. Wait for perfect timing. Balance is actually temperance in the traditional tarot. And when it's looked at as temperance, at least for me, not only is it about truly trying to achieve balance or come into balance and peace and all of that, but it is a karmic energies of the universe sent to us for healing. It's a very healing energy, the energy of temperance or balance. Six of Earth And renewal, awesome. You're getting a lot of the same cards as the other couple too, actually. Renewal is judgment in the traditional tarot. And for me, represents the planet Pluto. Pluto, which rules Scorpio, which is another sign I said that wallflower card tends to represent for me. Why Pluto? Because Pluto is the planet, or why Scorpio? Pluto is the planet and Scorpio is the sign of death and rebirth. And that's what renewal is about for me. Like the old stuff dies and here it is renewed, anew, whatever comes from that, whatever's born of that death. Review and evaluate, a favorable assessment of the facts. It's time to move in a new direction. As it relates to work, because it looks like somebody may have money on their mind, or need the need for money, and maybe overly thinking about it and allowing money to trap them, allowing money to make them feel stuck, allowing money, like becoming a slave to it, basically. The book of Timothy 2, speaks about money becoming like God for people. So we got to be careful about that. But as it relates to money and work, judgment or renewal is about the fact that your boss has a watchful eye on you, wants to give you promotion, a raise. Now that boss can be karmic also. It can be the universe itself. It can be God himself. Wants to give you that promotion, wants to give you that raise, elevation, ascension, right? It can also be here in the 3D. This card is also about judgment, like not being too judgmental against yourself or other people, watching out that gossip stuff, like being cautious to not engage in that sort of thing. And as it relates to love, similar to how it's pictured here with Archangel Jeremiah, the patron of past lives, right? Guardian, governor, however you want to put it, of past lives, sort of officiating over this couple's reunion. That's what it has to do with as it relates to relationships, not just romantic relationships in general, like, again, close friends and stuff too. But looking at it for you two, I would say, or for, any couple in love, that's definitely what it's about. It's about reaching a crossroad, and realizing that we keep sort of veering off path, and now we've met again at the same point in the path, and we got to decide, like, once and for all, are we walking it together, from here on out? What are we doing, basically? Or am I going to walk alone a little longer and you're going to walk alone and I'm going to meet you again? Like, we got to make a plan. This is like the make or break moment where we're making a plan. Renewal. I'm going to cut. On that note, renewal, a 2 about partnerships, about faith. Also, of course, an 11. 2s are 11s. And I've come to the moon with Archangel Haniel, which represents the sign of Pisces. Important psychic insights, events behind the scenes, release fears that hold you back. Pisces are the water sign. It's about intuition. And it's about the fact that we don't get to know everything. The universe reveals what it reveals when it's ready to reveal it. And we have to have faith, or 2, that we're going to be fine regardless. So the overall energy is the 7 of Earth, a nice progression up from that 6, right? We were at the 6. We were exchanging things freely, just because love. And that sowed the seeds of something positive for us, that we just have to be patient now and allow that to continue to grow. Seeds are well planted. So you may be in a temporary pause of action. No need to worry though, right? Any worry is unnecessary. We're just allowing the seeds to grow. Masculine, the page of fire. Again, Sagittarius for me. This is This could be representing the feminine's energy, or he may be feeling Sagittarian like himself. Can also represent, of course, Leo or Aries, but the page being the younger and or more youthful of the fire element represents Sagittarius for me first and foremost. News of an exciting new endeavor. Use your originality and ingenuity. Surrounded by the 9 of air, expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecies, sleepless nights. So this is about fear. This is about the need for actual rest. And it's about potentially manifesting negativity into your own life with your own thoughts. Like when we see 1111, okay, then this is a good opportunity here on 1111 for me to explain 1111 briefly. When we see 1111, it doesn't mean, hey, you're a twin flame. Hey, you know, whatever, all this other foolishness that I tend to hear. What ones represent is the fact that we need to pay close attention to our thoughts, because those thoughts represented by 1 are going to graduate to 2s, something in which we need to continue to believe in a positive sense and have faith about, so that those can graduate to 3s, something that begins to tangibly manifest, so that those can continue to graduate to 4s, our foundations. And they are solid and stable foundations when they're on 4 legs as opposed to 3. That's what 1 means. Watch your thoughts, because they're going to grow, you know, into 4s. Whether they're negative or they're positive. I call it a harambe from the universe. The harambe is like a big wake-up call. That's what it is. It's, you know, hey, you, watch it. I see you slipping into negativity. So I'm going to wave this 1 in front of your face, so that I'm trying to catch your attention. If 1 doesn't work, let me give you 2. 2's not working, you know, let's try 3. 3's not working still. Here's 4 1s, because I want you to be careful. I want you to be careful. I want when the 4 1s turn into 1 4, I want it to be 1 good 4 for you. That's what 1111 means. Masculine subconscious is the Tower with Archangel Chamuel, who is also a Sagittarius. A significant life event, a powerful revelation that leads to change. It's time to spread your wings. Now, a lot of people are afraid of the Tower, and I guess it can be scary sometimes. It can be. Maybe that's what the 9 of air is about. You know, he's worried about a situation in particular. And if it doesn't go right, it might be scary. But the Tower is really it's more of a neutral energy, because it could go either way. Sometimes the Tower is really awesome. It's similar to the world in that it's karmic of the universe. It's fated. It's going to happen, right? The universe is stepping in. The difference between the world, for example, and the Tower is that the world can sometimes take, you know, time, and we need to be patient about the process of being eased out of a situation. The Tower is boom. The Tower is 1 minute this is your situation, and the next minute this is it. Sort of like Lord Shiva, the destructor, right? The destroyer. He comes through. He destroys everything so that it has to be rebuilt on a better foundation, a better 4. Feminine. The High Priestess with Archangel Haniel. Listen to your intuition, have patience, and consider carefully what you want before acting. The High Priestess is a Gemini or a water sign for me, and is also about paying close attention to your intuition and like being confident about it. Like, you know what's real and what's fake. So think about that before you take any action. It reminds us to not go off half-cocked too. And it's another 2. So it requires, faith and belief in our relationships and things too. Surrounding the feminine, the page of air. So more Gemini. Logical, honest, impulsive, and curious is the page of air. Challenging information, delays or changes to plans, and truth delivered without tact. This, of course, can also represent Libra or Aquarius. But for me is Gemini first and foremost because it is the page. In the feminine subconscious, the two of earth, too much going on. So you got 2 2s, you're crowned by 2, you're rooted in a 2. Too much going on. The need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. So this is more guidance for you that's similar to what you received in the last spread, to be more like youthful and lighthearted, which should come very easily to a Sagittarius. Crowning, the 4 of earth. I think today is a 4 of earth, actually, sort of, because today there's a Virgo moon, if I remember correctly, and that tends to be very much so about our foundations. The 4 of earth in the tarot, though, is guidance to watch that you're not being overly giving of yourself and or, material wealth or financial wealth, and that you're not being too tight with it either, and therefore blocking your blessings of receiving any more. At the root is the 7 of air, plans and revision, more going on than meets the eye, and poor timing. 7 of air is about joy stealing for me. It can be about distrust, trust issues, and things too. This may be what's causing somebody to hold on really tightly to their abundance here, because they're worried somebody's going to try to steal it. At the heart of the matter, the page of earth, who is scholarly, dependable, patient, and successful. Good news about financial matters. Wanting to do something more challenging, maybe even a new area of study. So we saw earlier that there appeared to be one or both of them with some financial concern. So the page of earth comes through to say, like, there's no need to worry. Again, I'm arriving with some help here for you. Maybe it's been delayed. Page of air can be about delay because you've been, having it so heavily on your mind. You've blocked your blessing, but I'm still coming. You've just slowed me down. It may come in the form of a new job or something. The page of fire is about opportunity. He's here crossing the page of earth. We may need to make a decision about work, maybe about the amount of work that we're doing. Are we leaving enough time for balance? 2 of earth can be about balance as well. I'm going to further clarify these with the Doreen Virtue Romance Angels. And as I was trying to pick them up, open to give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So we don't want to just panic and sort of drop things. We got to put some effort in. And I'm beginning with playfulness, which is again about being lighthearted and youthful and, childlike even when we need to. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. And opening to you deserve love, more Sagittarius for me with his very Cupid-like woman, because Cupid, or Archangel Chamuel, again, is a Sagittarius. You are lovable, so you deserve love. And is that other card behind this? I thought I saw this is flirt, which is also about being lighthearted and extending lighthearted energy to others. But I thought I saw that give your relationship a chance card again. Okay, here we go. Playfulness. Let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Playfulness. Worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Playfulness. Heart-to-heart conversations. Honestly discuss your feelings with each other. Playfulness. And pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. If it has anything to do with the red flags here on this table, it's the page of fire. And there's a need to pay attention to the fact that good things are happening. Opportunities are being presented to you. stop and take note and stop and take stock, you know. Playfulness, I'll go one more. Stay optimistic, not worrisome, optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith, too, will bring you romance. Playfulness. I'm going to cut. Oop. And pay attention to the red flags is back. The overall energy is true love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Excuse me. Atop the page of fire, chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. But atop the 9 of air, codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. That could be what's causing the sleepless nights and the worry, maybe some paranoia, and things of that nature. Top life experience, honeymoon, enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. So it can be the ascension, again, the promotion that we saw from judgment or renewal that wants to come through here that shakes him up for the good. Atop the high priestess, free yourself. It's time to take back control of your life. So remember I was saying the high priestess, like she knows better. She has this intuition and she really knows what she needs to do. She just needs to actually do it as opposed to veering off and possibly just going off half-cocked. So you know that it's time to take back control of your life. And maybe it's taking back control of your life from a Gemini or from an air sign. Or maybe it's your inner air sign that is trying to direct you to use those swords to cut away something that's holding you back. That's a possibility too. Or both. Both can be the case as well. In any case, top the page of air, keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. And atop the 2 of earth, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So the 2 of earth can I mentioned briefly, but I didn't really explain it. It can be about like working too much, like not enough time for play. And I think that may be a factor here for you, since we keep seeing all this guidance that, toward the fact that you need to be more playful and lighthearted and childlike. All work and no play makes Jill a dull girl. So make sure you keep time for you and you find balance in the areas of, work and home life. Atop the 4 of earth and these foundations, maybe very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. At the root, atop the 7 of air, give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. So don't let like a joy-stealing energy take that opportunity away from you. And at the heart of the matter here, atop the page of earth, forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So we've come full circle because we began talking about the past and past lives and the need to let something go. That was evident from the time I picked up the cards. And it is on that note that we are nearing the end. And if you look at these, freeing yourself, learning from the experiences, good, bad, whatever, forgiving everybody involved, including yourself, is going to lead to joy. Okay, there's a true chemistry between the masculine and very possibly a Sagittarius yourself. That's real. That attraction and connection, it's real. It can't be faked. It's scientific even. But some healing needs to happen in order to really make it work. For both people to feel supported and strong enough to always be open and willing to express their love. And that love is true love, the romance of a lifetime even. So we don't want to, we want to pay attention to the red flags again and not lose sight of that. I'd also like to take a card from, since we're talking about healing, angel therapy, from my angel therapy cards, beginning with Ascended Masters. Powerful, loving, and wise spiritual teachers are watching and guiding you. And opening to Law of Attraction. Relationships and activities that you once enjoyed are now changing as you become more sensitive and aware of energies. Law of Attraction. So this also speaks to the need to let go of old stuff so we can attract new and more wonderful and better things for us in our present. Visualize success also. See yourself doing well in this situation and have a more positive outcome. This is speaking about faith again, more too. Law of Attraction and parents. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you to heal from any pain associated with your mother or father or anyone else that is so impactful upon your life that they could, sort of dictate or impair even whether you're able to move forward or not. Any relationships like that with anyone, you've got to heal those. They can be healed by repairing them if you're able to, or if not, walking away. Sometimes we have to do that even with family. I'm glad I went one more. I think I had said I was going to stop on that other one, but here you go. Twin flame. The answer to your question involves a spiritually based romantic relationships. At the end of the day, that's, what makes all this effort worthwhile. Twin flame. And I didn't start out with any kind of spread about their union because I know what their union is, but it's still nice to see it. Emotional sensitivity. Honor and respect your deep sensitivity as it is a gift to us all. And the overall energy is goddess. So I think you're both guided to surrender a little bit more. Express your divine feminine energy, embracing its magical intuition. This is certainly for you as well, the need to pay attention to your intuition, and also nurturing qualities, nurturing yourself as well. Okay, so advice from the angel therapy cards to the masculine book. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. Maybe that's what, in some case, because this is, the Page of Earth is about learning in many ways, often going to school. And it's here with forgiving and learning from a romantic standpoint sitting atop it. So that made plenty of sense. But maybe it has some literal meaning too, at least for the masculine. And books can be for school. Or it's very possible that he may have a book inside him that needs to be written. And that can be therapeutic too. But somehow books or lessons, I think, has a more literal meaning for him here. For you, fairies, you have a strong bond with the fairies, and your life purpose involves helping Mother Nature. And we just talked about you know, exercising your nurturing qualities. The masculine, courting man. So this can be wanting to be less of a wallflower and more get some dating in. For you, young male. I'm getting, and he may be younger than you, but that's not what I was getting. I was getting that this is connected to, again, the need for you guys, you know, to be more, you know, like teenagers, more just free to love, free and happy about being in love, like without restrictions, like how kids are. So again, sort of like what turned up in the collective love reading, which does actually go through today. From the angels to the masculine, 8 of fire, events moving at a fast pace. Delays are over and many things are happening at once. So this can be a shakeup too. This may be connected to the tower actually. It can also be about communication, like that ramping up, and you know, maybe in the form of heart-to-heart conversations to get beyond some of this, you know, some of these learning experiences, to discuss some of those, to get beyond some of the forgiving that needs to happen, whether it's toward ourselves or the other party or anybody else that may be surrounding you guys and involved, to get through this codependency, maybe approaching it together, working through it together, and even maybe looking for your freedom. You could be receiving some help for that. To you, wow, new beginning, the Ace of Water. And this is also about like reconciliation and that promotion that we talked about. So as it relates to a relationship, a romantic relationship, a couple, even if you're not separated, so there's no need for reconciliation in that sense, it's being ascended together, elevated together. Falling in love, or the resurgence of a relationship, spiritual growth and enhanced intuition, maybe even a new home. I also mentioned Scorpio and water signs a couple times. Somebody may have some of that going on. The Ace of Water can in fact be a Scorpio, Pisces, or Cancer. And it too is about intuition and paying attention to that. From the romance angels to the masculine, his last card is soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Something tells me he wasn't confused about that though. And for you, despite this page of air here and the delays that may have occurred and you would have expected to be further along, it's worth the wait, right? Everything's going to be worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life and nothing can stop the progress. I hope that you enjoy your reading and you find it helpful, dear. Namaste, angel.